Gemini, if you're hearing these words right now, perhaps the universe is trying to speak to you in a way your mind can't quite explain. You might think you just stumbled upon this video by chance, but if you stopped even for a few seconds, it's no longer a coincidence. You know that. Something deep within you feels, there's a message here, meant just for you. Have you noticed lately how everything around you seems to be sending signals? An old song plays the moment you start feeling uncertain about the future. Someone suddenly reappears, just when you thought you had moved on, repeating numbers 1111, 222, 5 to 55 showing up everywhere, as if someone is knocking on your mind saying, it's time to listen to your inner voice again. Gemini, you've always lived between two worlds, half logic, half emotion. One side wants control, the other just wants to flow. But sometimes, amidst all the noise, you forget the sound of your own truth. And maybe, just maybe, this video is that rare still moment the universe arranged for you to finally hear it again. This isn't just an astrological message. It's a conversation between you and the universe through the memories, feelings, and signs you once thought were random. And if your heart is beating a little faster right now, it's because you're being guided toward a doorway, the doorway of truth you've been avoiding for far too long. If you're here, leave a small sign so the universe knows you're ready. Comment, I'm ready to listen to my truth. And if you can feel this energy touching you, hit like and subscribe. So whenever the universe sends a new signal, you'll never miss it. Now, take a deep breath. Pour yourself a cup of tea or your favorite warm coffee, because what you're about to hear may forever change the way you see yourself. Part 1. Signs that are not a coincidence. Gemini, if this video just appeared on your screen, trust that it's not by chance. There are moments in life when everything seems precisely arranged, and this is one of those moments. The universe never sends meaningless signals. It simply waits for the moment you're ready to see them. And now, it seems, you are ready. Lately, have you felt that things around you are unfolding in strange ways? You keep seeing repeating numbers, 11, 11, 222, 555 everywhere, on clocks, receipts, even when you unlock your phone. You randomly hear an old song, and somehow every lyric speaks the words you've been unable to say. Someone you haven't spoken to in months suddenly reappears, or a recurring dream wakes you in the middle of the night with a sense that it was too real. None of this is random, Gemini. It's how the universe communicates with you through a language only your heart can truly understand. Gemini, you are the soul of connection, the voice between two worlds, logic and emotion, reality and spirit. You can understand both reason and intuition, but sometimes knowing too much makes you lose yourself in the noise. Your mind is constantly busy, trying to analyze, explain, and control, while your heart only wants one thing: to be heard. And perhaps this very moment as you sit here, with this screen glowing before you, is when the universe gently stops everything around you, so you can finally listen to yourself. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'm fine," while deep down you were overflowing with unanswered questions? How many times have you forced a smile just so others wouldn't see your confusion? Gemini, you are a master of words, yet sometimes the things you say don't reflect what you truly feel. And the universe, in its quiet wisdom, is now creating silence around you, so you can hear your own voice more clearly than ever before. The signs surrounding you are not warnings, but gentle reminders. You're on the right path. Just pause and trust. You may feel uncertain about what's coming next, but remember, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of awareness, communication, and awakening. When this energy activates, you don't just hear others, you begin to hear yourself. And that's why you're here. Not to seek a prophecy, but to return to truth. The truth you've always known, but haven't had the courage to face. You know what needs to change. You know what has reached its end. You know what your soul has been craving. This video is simply the doorway. Whether or not you walk through it is entirely your choice. If something in these words resonates deep within you, don't stay silent. Leave a message for yourself as a promise to the universe. I'm ready to listen to my truth. Because when you write it down, you're not just affirming it for yourself. You're sending out a wave of energy that allows others, who are awakening like you, to feel and connect. And if this energy brings you even a little peace, press like and subscribe. Because whenever the universe has something to say to you, I'll be here, delivering its most subtle messages and quiet reminders, so you'll never feel lost in the chaos of life again. Now, Gemini, take a moment for yourself. Turn down the noise around you. Make a cup of your favorite tea or coffee. This is your space, your moment. Let the next words guide you deeper into the place logic cannot reach, but your soul already recognizes. Part 2. When intelligence becomes a burden. Gemini, you are one of the rare souls gifted with the ability to see both sides of everything. When others see half the picture, you see the whole. When others hear only words, you hear the meaning behind the silence. That's what makes you understanding, adaptable, and deeply trustworthy. But it also makes you tired, utterly exhausted. Because when you understand too much, you begin to live in the grey area where nothing is fully right or wrong, only choices that haunt you long after they're made. You see, Gemini, it's hard to live with a mind that never stops spinning a whirlwind, that keeps analyzing, decoding, questioning. Even when everyone else is quiet, your thoughts are running. Why did they say that? Did I do something wrong? What am I missing? You believe your logic keeps you safe, but sometimes that very logic becomes a cage, an invisible prison that keeps you in a constant state of alertness. And one day, you realize your intelligence, instead of being your compass, has become your labyrinth. Gemini is the sign of connection of ideas that soar and curiosity that never ends. But somewhere in the flood of thoughts and information, you find yourself trapped between two extremes. One part of you craves safety, the other longs for freedom. One part wants stability and predictability, the other wants to drop everything and start anew, to do the one thing that makes your heart tremble with life again. And there you are, standing between two worlds, trying to balance them, but the harder you try, the more lost you feel. Have you ever wondered why you know what to do, yet can't seem to do it? You know that relationship no longer fits, yet you stay because you understand their fear, because you don't want to hurt anyone. You know your current job has drained your spirit, yet you keep going because you're afraid to lose the illusion of stability. You know you need rest, yet you stay up late replaying the same thoughts again and again. That is the burden of intelligence. When you understand too much, you stop feeling. When you analyze too deeply, you lose the simplicity of the soul. Gemini, your brilliance is a gift, but the universe wants you to understand that wisdom does not always equal peace. Some things are not meant to be explained, only felt. Some choices don't need logic, only the quiet honesty of the heart. The universe is teaching you a powerful lesson, the lesson of trust. Trust is not ignorance. It's the courage to accept that you don't have to know every answer to move forward. Right now, Mercury, your ruling planet is stirring your inner world. It's awakening a dialogue between two parts of you, the thinker and the feeler, the speaker and the listener, the observer and the one who simply is. And in that dialogue, you might feel torn apart. But Gemini, don't be afraid. This is how the universe rebuilds you, forcing both halves to face each other and finally merge so you can return to wholeness. A Gemini balanced between mind and spirit, between logic and soul. Look within yourself. The real question isn't, what should I choose? But, what brings me peace? Peace, not temporary happiness, not fleeting comfort, but that deep stillness only your soul can recognize. It might cost you a person or an old chapter of your life, but that's the price of true freedom. Freedom from repeating thoughts, from invisible fears, from the part of you that keeps trying to control everything. Gemini, you don't need to see the whole path before you begin. Clarity doesn't come before you act. It arrives after you take the first step. The universe will never let you fall if you're walking in the direction your soul has chosen. And if you're hearing these words now, maybe this is the confirmation you've been waiting for. If this message resonates with you, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and write below, I choose clarity. Write it as a promise to yourself that you will choose truth over confusion, trust over fear, and feeling over overthinking. And if these words bring even a little peace to your heart, press like and subscribe, because Gemini, this journey has only just begun, and the universe still has so much more to whisper to you every time you're ready to listen with your heart. Part 3. The moment of awakening. When the universe intervenes. Gemini. Sometimes the universe doesn't speak through words. It speaks through a series of coincidences you simply can't ignore. A message arrives just as you're about to give up. A song plays, and every lyric feels like it was written for you. A dream repeats itself for nights on end, showing the same face, the same feeling, and you begin to wonder, is this just coincidence? Or is something trying to be seen? As the year 2025 draws to a close, Mercury, your ruling planet, enters a profound cycle of awakening. Everything that once felt unclear begins to reveal itself. What once seemed impossible to explain now unfolds with uncanny clarity. Your intuition grows stronger, no longer a passing sense, but a continuous stream of guidance. You start hearing truth not with your ears, but with your soul. Gemini, you're in a phase where the universe is no longer just watching you. It's intervening. Every event, every encounter, every dream, every instinct is being deliberately rearranged. Whenever you try to avoid something, the universe reshapes your reality to bring it back before you clearer, louder, impossible to ignore. Because there are lessons you cannot learn through logic, only through experience. Have you noticed? Every time you try to close a chapter, life finds a way to bring you back to it, not to hurt you, but to help you see differently. It could be a person you thought you'd forgotten, a dream you once abandoned, or a longing within you that you can't quite name. The universe doesn't want you to run anymore. It wants you to awaken. Pay attention, Gemini. If you keep dreaming about the same person, the same scenario, it's not random. It's your higher consciousness sending a message to yourself, reflecting a decision you've been postponing. Maybe your mind has dismissed it, but your soul hasn't forgotten. And now, the universe is mirroring it back to you, so you can finally see. Remember this: the universe never punishes you. It simply repeats the lessons you haven't finished learning. And every time you whisper, "Why is this happening again?" your soul quietly replies, "Because you still haven't truly listened." Gemini, this awakening energy may feel overwhelming emotions rising for no reason, memories resurfacing, encounters that stir your heart without explanation. But don't be afraid. This is the moment when the veil between what you think is real and what truly is begins to thin. You are seeing the bigger picture now, and this time, you are being invited to step into your power. Not just observe it. You may notice someone returning not to rekindle love, but to bring closure. You may receive an opportunity, but only if you trust your intuition. Or perhaps the universe's intervention is simply a quiet moment, a stillness in which you suddenly know what to do, even though no one told you. Mercury is illuminating the deepest corners of your mind, helping you distinguish between thought and intuition. When you start seeing the same signs again and again, treat them as whispers from the universe. It's not saying, believe blindly. It's saying, trust what makes your soul tremble with truth. And here's the miracle. The more you listen, the more you'll realize these coincidences were never coincidences at all. You begin moving in harmony with the rhythm of the cosmos, where every event has meaning, every person you meet carries a message, and every choice you make opens a new door. If you're feeling this right now, if these words give you chills, or if someone specific comes to mind as you listen, that is the sign. Don't ignore it. Acknowledge it, because the very moment you do, you step fully into awakening. Gemini, the universe is whispering, you're not lost. You're being guided. And those coincidences you keep seeing, they are your map. Trust this rhythm, even if it's not yet clear, for every answer you seek is already being revealed. If you've begun to notice the signs in your dreams, your life, your emotions right below, as a declaration to yourself, I see the signs. Because when you say it out loud, you're not just affirming it, you're telling the universe, I'm awake, I'm listening. And if every word of this message made you feel seen, understood, or moved, press like and subscribe. Because Gemini, this is only the beginning of your awakening, and the universe still has so much more to reveal. Just for you. Part 4. Learning to trust your intuition. Gemini, how many times have you heard that small voice inside whisper, go, but your mind said, wait a little longer? How many times have you felt something was off, yet convinced yourself, I'm probably overthinking? You're sharp, perceptive, able to read people and situations in seconds. But when it comes to trusting your own feelings, you hesitate. Because Gemini, you were born with the gift of intellect and tested by it too. You have a tendency to want to understand everything before taking a step. You analyze every detail, weigh every outcome, and fear making the wrong move. But there's something the universe is trying to teach you right now. You don't need to know everything to take the right step. Because sometimes the first step is a blind one where you have no map, only faith. And when you dare to trust, that's when the miracle happens. Intuition doesn't come from fear, it comes from stillness. When you're quiet long enough to hear your inner voice, you begin to recognize what brings you peace and what makes you shrink. That difference is your compass. But most of the time, your mind is too noisy, crowded with assumptions, worries, and old memories. You're trying to hear your soul speak in a city full of noise. Gemini, you don't need more answers. You just need silence to hear the ones already inside you. The universe is sending you a clear message. You don't need more answers. You need silence to hear your truth. When you stop searching with your mind, you start remembering with your soul, and the soul never lies. Try this small but powerful exercise. Write down the thing that scares you most about making the decision you've been avoiding. Be honest. Let every fear, every worst-case scenario, spill onto the page. Then, write down the worst thing that could happen if you don't change, if you stay exactly where you are. Now read both. Which one makes your heart feel quieter, even just a little? Which one feels right, even without a logical reason? That's your intuition. Intuition never shouts. It doesn't scream like fear. It whispers. It doesn't rush you, it invites you. It doesn't demand, it offers a choice. And only when you stop calculating, you can finally hear that invitation. Gemini, you don't have to prove that you're strong, smart, or in control. You just have to allow yourself to trust. Trust that even if you can't see the full path, the universe is guiding you exactly where you need to be. Trust that even without evidence, the feeling in your heart has a purpose. Trust that no decision is ever wrong when it's made in honesty with yourself. Remember, you can't understand intuition with logic, because intuition exists beyond logic. It's the bridge between you and the universe within you. It doesn't need to make sense, it just needs to feel true. So, Gemini, try this. The next time you catch yourself spiraling in analysis, stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, if I knew I couldn't be wrong, what would I do? The answer that comes first, not the one you think of 10 seconds later, that's your intuition. The universe is showing you that when you trust yourself, everything around you begins to realign. The right people appear, the right doors open, and the things that no longer belong will gently fall away without you needing to force anything. Gemini, stop chasing certainty. Seek truth instead. And truth never comes from logic. It comes from the vibration in your heart, the one you've been taught to ignore for far too long. If you're learning to trust yourself, if you're starting to see that every coincidence has meaning, write below as your affirmation, I trust my intuition. Write it to remind yourself that you are stepping out of doubt and into the light of trust. And if these words feel like the universe is speaking straight through them to you, press like and subscribe. Because Gemini, the journey of trust has no end, and I'll be right here, walking beside you, reminding you that your soul has never been wrong. Part Piench. Stepping into a new chapter, true freedom. Gemini. Have you ever felt as if the universe was pushing you to the edge of a cliff, not to make you fall, but to teach you that you can fly? You've spent so long moving through phases of overthinking, hesitation, and awakening, and now you're standing at the threshold of a brand new chapter 1, where everything that once confined you is dissolving, making space for what your soul has always longed for, true freedom. The universe doesn't grant freedom to those who merely say, I want to be free. It grants freedom to those who act, who dare to let go, who speak their truth even when their voice trembles. And you, Gemini, are standing in that exact moment right now. The moment you stop fearing disapproval, stop living for others' comfort, and begin living in full alignment with your soul. Think back. How many times have you stayed silent to avoid hurting someone's feelings? How many times have you said, I'm fine, while quietly falling apart inside? How many times have you nodded yes when every cell in your body wanted to scream no? The moment you dare to speak your truth, you don't just free yourself, you free everyone who was trapped in the same invisible cage. Gemini, when you release what no longer fits, your energy shifts instantly. Your breath feels lighter, your sleep deeper. Suddenly, coincidences begin to appear exactly when you need them. A new friend, an unexpected opportunity, an invitation, a door opening without you even knocking. It's not luck. It's alignment. The universe has been waiting right there for you to step forward. From this moment on, you'll feel a new current of energy running through you. Your creativity will spark again. Ideas will flow like light being switched on inside your mind. Everything that once seemed unclear will come into focus. You'll stop asking, "Can I really do this?" Because you'll know you can. Because you've stopped waiting for permission from the world and started giving it to yourself. And then you'll realize a simple, yet profound truth. Freedom isn't found in knowing everything, it's found in trusting what you already know. Freedom isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting what your heart has known all along. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow. When you stop needing others to understand you, you start understanding yourself. When you stop chasing what's right, you begin to live what's true. Gemini, this is your moment to act. No more waiting. No more postponing. No more telling yourself you need the perfect timing. Because that moment is now. The universe has aligned every detail. The people you need to meet, the lessons you were meant to learn, the opportunities waiting for your yes. But only you can walk through that door. You've been tested. You've learned to listen. You've been guided through the shadows of fear, all to prepare you for this. The moment you choose authenticity, trust, and forward motion, and when you do, the universe responds instantly, sending confirmations in the form of encounters, glances, compliments, or subtle signs, each one whispering, "Yes, you're on the right path." Gemini, you don't need to know where the road leads. You just need to take the first step. And with every step taken in faith, the path will reveal itself. If you can feel this energy moving through you, if your heart knows it's time to begin a new chapter of freedom, write below as your declaration to the universe, "I'm ready to begin." Let those words be your promise that you will no longer live halfway, that fear will no longer decide your destiny. Write it so that everyone reading the comments can feel your strength and conviction radiating through your words. And if these words resonate, if something deep within you whispers, "This is the sign I've been waiting for," don't leave without pressing like and subscribe. Because Gemini, you weren't led here by coincidence. You were called. The universe has done its part. Now it's your move. The door is open, no more hesitation, no more doubt. Only you, the free, illuminated, and authentic version of yourself, waiting to live fully. Gemini, you weren't guided here by chance. You were called. The universe has already done its part. Now it's yours. Comment below, "I'm ready to begin," and subscribe to step fully into your next chapter. Dear Gemini, today's journey is not just an astrological message, it's a mirror reflecting your own life. The universe doesn't send you signs to confuse you, but to remind you that every answer you're searching for already lives within you. When you dare to pause, to listen, and to trust that inner voice, you become the guide of your own destiny. The greatest lesson from this video is this: don't let your mind silence your heart. You can analyze, you can think, you can understand everything, but in the end, only intuition and honesty with yourself can lead you to true peace. Don't be afraid if the new path still feels uncertain. Every great beginning starts with a step taken in faith. Every awakening begins with the courage to believe. Gemini, remember, true freedom isn't about knowing everything. It's about daring to live according to what you already know is right. And when you do that, life no longer feels random. It becomes a melody your soul has been composing all along. If this video has touched you, if you feel as though the universe is speaking directly to you, leave a comment below. "I'm ready to live my truth." Let it be your affirmation that you're ready to enter a new chapter with faith and freedom. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that whenever the universe has another message for you, you'll be the first to receive it. Thank you for staying until the end, for daring to listen, and for having the courage to trust the voice within. I'll see you in the next message where together we'll go even deeper into the awakening of your soul. Until then, keep shining. Gemini, the universe is watching, and it's proud of you.